All right, so the shir today is sponsored, actually. L'Refuas Shimon ben Devora. It's my wife's grandfather. He's not doing so well. So the shir tonight, the zchus of all the brachos that are made, if there's any new brachos that are made from the people that were before, but even if not, just the zchus of the Torah and the enjoyment and of everyone together, Isaac and Ruchnius together, should be the zchus for him. Whatever help he needs, it should Hashem should send it. B'zchus the shir tonight. And anybody that wants to sponsor, the sponsorships are opened. Feel free to sponsor l'zchus, l'refua, or anything, or even just because you want to sponsor, just l'shma, just for a sponsor. Feel free. All right. So, as everybody know, this week was a very, very, very special week. We'll say that the thousands or tens of thousands of, actually for sure tens of thousands of Jews all over the world finished the Shas, or are going to finish the Shas these days. And it's as whoever saw yesterday the speeches, listened to them, broadcast them. Did you put it on? Were you one of the people that videoed the Siyum Shas and put it on YouTube? That was part of your job yesterday at MetLife, no?
It is on YouTube, but I did not do it.
Oh, you did not do it. They would have known you're a professional. They would have hired you. But all right, so there's I think whoever saw it, it was a very, very special moment, special time, and I think there's many feelings that people felt. I think one essential one was we are connected to Torah. It's something it's not just like a mitzvah that we do. I'm not coming to say that mitzvah is not important. I'm just saying when a lot of people get together and do a mitzvah, it's one feeling. But when everybody were over there at the, either some of us were at the Barclays Center, and some of us at MetLife, and some of us just at home, and we're watching it, we're watching in the future, there was some sort of feeling that this is us. It was more than just a extra thing or something that we're doing. And I want to dig into that a little bit to see in the sources, and we'll start. There's a very, very interesting Gemara in Brachos, which is actually the Masechta which everyone are about to start. And the Gemara says the following. Amar Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. So whoever listens now, so if you're starting the daf in 2 weeks, you can space out for about 2 minutes, because I'm about to read a few lines. All right. So what does the Gemara say? Amar Yehuda, Amar Shmuel. Yehuda said in the name of Shmuel the following: Hishkim lishnos, a guy that woke up very early. Hishkim, early, 5 a.m., 4 a.m. He woke up early in the morning to learn Torah. Ad shelo kara kriyas shema. It's before he read Kriyas Shema. Actually, it's even before the time he could technically read Kriyas Shema. There's a time for Kriyas Shema, as the Gemara in Brachos also talks about. When can you start saying Kriyas Shema for the morning? So this guy woke up really early, and he's learning. They say Rabbi Yashiv used to wake up every night at 2 a.m. He used to learn till Shachars every day. That was his Seder. Rabbi Moshe also, he used to wake up at night. He said it's the only time that people don't call him. He has time to learn. So he used to wake up in the middle of the night, like, I don't know exactly at what time, and have a few hours till the morning to learn. There's many stories like that, and different people, but the Gemara is talking. So, Achelo Kriyas Shema, what do you need to do? Tzarich levarech. It's talking about Birkos HaTorah. You have to say Birkos HaTorah before you start to learn. So again, if any of you wake up tomorrow at 4 a.m. to learn, keep this in mind. You have to say first Birkas HaTorah. You can't just run to the Gemara and open up and start learning. Run to the Gemara? Yes. Open it up? Yes. But then say the brachos and then dig in. But this thing is till when you don't read Kriyas Shema. However, Mishekara Kriyas Shema, if you start learning after you read Kriyas Shema, so just to bring it to our life, a guy wakes up extremely late. He wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he goes to shul, or 6:30, and he reads Kriyas Shema. then Ein Tzarech Levarech. If he wants to learn after davening, or he wants to later on in the day, we'll discuss this, he does not need to say Birkas HaTorah. Why? He didn't say Birkas HaTorah. Why that they said Kriya Shema should change anything?
You need to say before Kriya Shema.
Zok the Gemara. Why? Shekvar niftar bebirkas ahava rabba. So there's a bracha in Birkas Kriya Shema right before we say Kriya Shema, which is ahava rabba or ahavas olam, maybe some the different nusachs. Ahavas olam. But basically, since he said that before Kriya Shema, that's instead of Birkas HaTorah. So why does ahava rabba help for Birkas HaTorah? What is the connection? So Rashi says, because the bracha of ahava rabba, it's there's in it a lot of similarities to Birkas HaTorah. He says the same belibeinu, given our heart, lilmo, to learn, ululamed, lishmor, velasos. 1 minute. Elokayim is called divrei salmon toratzecha. All these things we're mentioning about Torah, it's as if, or it's comparable to Birkas HaTorah. Okay, clear? Again, a guy wakes up before he davens, before he says Kriya Shema, he has to take out the siddur and say Birkas HaTorah. A guy starts learning after he davened, he's good to go. He does not need to say Birkas HaTorah. And the reason for that is because he said the bracha of ahava rabba, the bracha right before Kriya Shema, and that is good. It's me'ein Birkas HaTorah, so you're yotze with that in Birkas HaTorah. So this is a very, very, just when you think about it, it's a very interesting halacha, and this connects to what we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, about what is Birkas HaTorah all about. Because it's not exactly Birkas HaTorah. But we already saw previously that Birkas HaTorah, a lot of it is we brought the Gemara that says that Alma of the Aretz, why did the Churban happen? Because they didn't say the Birkas HaTorah. And we learned a couple of weeks ago, and just reading it as a side note, it's not the main part of the shir today, but we saw that it's because they didn't understand, or they didn't machshiv the Torah enough. That's how the Rishonim explained it. So you see the Birkas HaTorah, that what it's coming to accomplish in a way is it's you understanding the chashivus of Torah and our connection to Torah, and this type of thing you will get also with ahava rabba. So everything's good, everything's clear. It seems like a simple Gemara. However, Tosfos brings a Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi was the Gemara that was written in, I guess, in Yerushalayim or in Eretz Yisrael before the Bavli. So usually when there's a machlokas between Bavli and Yerushalmi, we paskin like the Bavli because it was later on in the generations. But the Tosfos brings a Yerushalmi that this halacha that you're yotze with Birkas ahava rabba is only if you learn right away after. So let's say right away after davening, you sit down and you learn. If you don't learn right away after davening, it doesn't help. But if you learn after davening, then it's good. You're good to go. So again, this Gemara that says that when you say Birkas ahava rabba, it's good, as if you said Birkas HaTorah, it's only if you learned afterwards. I just want to bring a introduction. Today, I think, I don't know if Sfardim do this as well, correct me if I'm wrong, but we say Birkas HaTorah, and then we say right afterwards, Yevarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. Sfardim, what's it say?
Yeah, we say that, of course.
Ah, so it's not so, of course, because... What? Sfardim do say. So, what?
No, we say V'arevna, no?
That's in the bracha, but right after you finish, you say V'arechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, and you say Elu Dvarim Shalom Shiur.
No, we don't say that.
You don't say that. You just say V'arechecha Hashem. Okay.
That's in Korbanot.
Okay. So you say V'arechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha Yer Hashem. So we say these three psukim. So we'll see in a minute that it's not so simple. Again, the Yerushalmi is talking about the bracha of ahava rabba, and the Yerushalmi says if you want it to be counted as Birkas HaTorah, you have to learn right away. Now, if you look at this Gemara, it seems like you don't need to do it. The Gemara just says that you said Kriya Shema and you're good to go. You don't need to do anything else. Yerushalmi says you have to learn right away. So Tosfos asks, does that mean, according to Yerushalmi, that also that we always need to learn right away afterwards, kind of like what we do today? Does that mean we have to say Yevarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha after Birkas HaTorah? Because the Yerushalmi says after Birkas Ahava Rabbah, you have to do it. So the question is like this: if Ahava Rabbah is like Birkas HaTorah, and in Ahava Rabbah you have to learn right away afterwards, does that mean that also in Birkas HaTorah you have to learn right away afterwards? Question is clear?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the question of Tosfos. Tosfos comes first answer, and he says, yes, you always need to learn right after. Just like the Yerushalmi says by Birkas Ahava Rabbah, you have to do also by Birkas HaTorah. However, that's the Yerushalmi's opinion. But the Bavli's opinion is that we don't. The Bavli doesn't mention it. And therefore, you don't need to learn right away afterwards. The halacha is you don't need to learn right away afterwards. And in the time of Tosfos, they did not say this Yevarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. The minhag was, people used to say Birkas HaTorah and daven. They didn't say any psukim of Torah in context of Torah right after Birkas HaTorah. So they had a shorter davening. They had like a 10 seconds less davening because they skipped, or they didn't say, they not skipped, they just didn't say, they didn't have it yet to say Yevarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. So the question is, that's the first answer of Tosfos. And second answer of Tosfos is fascinating. The second answer is that there's no argument. What that we do, our minhag, that we don't say after Birkas HaTorah anything. Remember, this is the time of Tosfos. What that we don't mention anything after Birkas HaTorah is because it's Birkas HaTorah. But the Yerushalmi that says you need to learn right away, that's talking about Birkas Ahava Rabbah. It's very different. Birkas Ahava Rabbah, you do need to learn afterwards. But Birkas HaTorah, you don't need to learn afterwards. It's good. You're good to go all day. You say a bracha, you go to work, you come back 7 hours later, and you do the daf, or whatever you want to learn. You don't need to say another Birkas HaTorah. You're good to go, even though you didn't learn right away. Again, if you don't say Birkas HaTorah and you just say Ahava Rabbah, you will need to say, because you didn't learn afterwards. But if you say Birkas HaTorah, you don't need to learn at all. What's the difference between the two? And this is a fascinating lashon in Tosfos. What's the difference between the two? So Tosfos says like this: by Ahava Rabbah, it's a bracha for Kriya Shema. Yeah, it's a bracha for Kriya Shema. It's not a bracha for Torah. Chazal, when they made this bracha, it was a bracha that was specifically connected to Kriya Shema with Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shamayim. It's not about the learning Torah. By you learning after davening, it shows that you meant Birkas Ahava Rabbah. You are showing that Birkas Ahava Rabbah by you is also for Torah. Again, if you don't learn right away, then it's just for Kriya Shema. But by you learning afterwards, what your learning does is it shows that your Ahava Rabbah was also for Torah. But really, by any Birkas HaTorah, you don't need to learn afterwards. So if you think about it, even by Birkas Ahava Rabbah, you don't need to learn afterwards. The reason you need to learn afterwards is just in order to make the Ahava Rabbah in the Birkas HaTorah. It's not that there's a halacha that you have to learn after Birkas Ahava Rabbah, because like you have to eat after you make hamotzi, you have to eat bread. So you say Ahava Rabbah, you have to learn. Rather, if you don't learn, then you don't know that the Ahava Rabbah goes on Torah. The reason you learn after Ahava Rabbah is to tell you this is not just a bracha for Kriya Shema, rather it's also a bracha for Torah. But Birkas HaTorah, which is specifically for Torah, you don't need to do something in order to show that it goes on Torah. It goes on Torah because the whole bracha is talking about Torah. And that's why by Birkas HaTorah, we don't need to say any psukim. However, the Tosfos brings that the Tzarfatim, the French people, Rabbanim, were noheg, they were manig, they told people to say Yevarechecha Hashem, and you should say or you shouldn't say it. That's as you see in the Sidurim, what everybody do today. However, Tosfos comes with a question, and this is what I was trying to get to. Tosfos asks, why really you don't need to learn right away afterwards? If we go to a sukkah, we eat bread and we bench and we leave the sukkah, we come back, we sit down to eat another meal, we gotta eat again. We gotta say another Leish of Basukah. And every mitzvah is like that. You put on your tefillin, you take them off, you go out, you come back, you put them on, you gotta make another bracha. So why Birkas HaTorah is something, you say it in the morning, and you're good to go. You go to work 5 hours, 6 hours. Some of us work only 2 hours if they have just a little bit of paperwork to do. And then they come back, they open up a Gemara. Why don't they need to say again Birkas HaTorah? Just like if they put on the tefillin every 2 hours, you need to make a bracha. Why every time you open up a Chumash or a Gemara every 2 hours, you don't need to say a new Birkas HaTorah? Clear?
Yeah.
So Tosfos answers a fascinating answer. And I think this answer is something that we all felt, or a lot of us felt this week. Tosfos says like this: V'yeshlomar, the shiny Torah is different than other mitzvos that you need to make a bracha every time you do the mitzvah. Why is it different? Shiny Torah, she'eino meyayesh daito. You never really leave it. You're not Yehush is a term, is like I give up. I give up. You never give up in your mind from learning Torah. It's something that your mind is always there that I might still learn. Why? The kolsha adam mechuyav. Every moment a person has an obligation, lilmod, to learn. Dichtiv, it says, v'hagisa b'yomim v'layla. Therefore, every person, if you ask him, are you giving up on learning Torah? He says, no, my mind is still there. I'm not going to give up on the idea of learning. Out through the day, I'm busy with many things, but I never give up my mind. V'havei kemo yoshev kol hayom belo hefsek. It's as if he's going to work and he's crazy busy. Any accountants here? No accountants. Oh, because if there was account, probably would have not been here. It's after the first, right? Now the deadline is starting. But no matter what, even if you're at work busy, it's not called a hefsek. Why isn't it called a hefsek? Because eino meyayesh daito, you never give up from learning the Torah, because that's your obligation to always learn it. And you finish what you have to do, you got to go back. Masha'enke and other mitzvos, you need to eat a kazais in the sukkah. You could do it now, you could do it in an hour, you could do it in 3 hours. It's not something about this moment and every moment. So it's not something that's on you every minute. Therefore, if you do it and then come back 2 hours later and do it again, you got to make another bracha. And what I wanted to learn from here, from this whole thing, is I think there's a very, very powerful and strong message to us. This is the halacha l'maisa. It's not, I don't want to say it's not just divrei hashkafa and chizuk. This is a halacha l'maisa thing which comes out from this. Why don't we need to make many brachos, just like there's and every other thing that there's hefsek? You make a bracha on sukkah, you make a bracha on your tefillin, 2 hours later you take them off, you do your, whatever you do, you go to work, you come back, you're inspired, you put your tefillin back on. You need to make another bracha, there's no question asked. Why by Torah, if you go ahead, why by Torah? Why is it that by Torah you learn, you stop, you come back, you set a bracha in the morning, and you're good to go for the day? Why is it different? I think there's something here that it teaches us something. It's something that we felt. As Tosfos said, Torah ein adam meyayesh daito mimena. You never give up your mind. And this is halacha. This is the reason that halacha l'maisa, you don't need to say another bracha. So I think whoever was in MetLife or the other places, he felt with Torah there's a certain connection, more than other things we have in life. This is something essential with us. It's part of us. We are connected to this thing. We'll never give up our mind, and say, I'm done. I'm busy. I have other things to do. I don't want to say it's hard, it's not talking about, but I'm lazy. But for sure that's what I want to do, that's what I'm obligated to do. I'm not giving up on it. And this is something that every Yid, every Jew carries with him, this feeling for Torah. Now what should we do halacha l'maisa? This is the Tosfos. What should we do halacha l'maisa? I just want to read out the Lashon of the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch in Siman Yom Zayin, it's a siman that discusses Birkas HaTorah. I'll just read read out loud what the Shulchan Aruch says.
Yeah.
So I'll read just 3 short seifim. How do you say seifim in English?
Pages? No, chapter, paragraphs.
Paragraphs. All right, 3 short paragraphs. So first one is Seif Zayin. Birkas Ahavas Olam. Poteres Birkas HaTorah. You say that, you don't need to say Birkas HaTorah anymore. It's the Gemara we just learned. Im lamad miyad beli hefsek. You learn right away without a hefsek. So he quotes this Yerushalmi, halacha l'maisa. If you learn right away after Birkas Ha'avarabba, you don't need to say Birkas HaTorah. The next paragraph, v'yesh le'istap isagi b'korah kriyashma. There's a suffix. Is kriyashma considered good enough for this Birkas HaTorah? Good enough to consider it as Torah. That now the Avarabba had Torah attached to it or not? Because of this issue, that's why people should say, even though they're about to start Shachar, and someone will say, I'm anyway saying Avarabba, so why do I need to say the Birkas HaShachar? The answer is because we have an issue with Kriya Shema, how to consider Kriya Shema, where it's a suffix. Just be Yotze and say Birkas HaTorah. Now, Yesh Omrim, the next paragraph. Yesh Omrim, there's an opinion. Sheim hifsik ben Birkas HaTorah lelimudo. If you did not learn after you finished Birkas HaTorah, you did not say the Yervarechecha, you straight went to daven, and you finished davening. Ein bekach klum, it doesn't matter. This Teretz and Tosfos, that when you, for Birkas HaTorah, it doesn't matter. There's never a hefsek. V'hanachon, but it is right, the Shulchan Aruch says, Shalo lehafsik b'neihem v'chei nahagu lomar birkas kohanim. Because that's the right thing to do because of the other opinion. So say birkas kohanim, samuch lebirkas haTorah. Okay? Now the last paragraph I wanted to read out loud is im hifsik mililmod, in the middle of the day, v'nis asek bedvarim ba'asakav. He got busy with his business. So as the Shulchan Aruch is lashon. Keivan shedaito lachzor velilmod. Since this person that went to his business, in his mind he's going back to learn. Even though he's going to his business, in his mind he's going back to learn. Lo have a hefsek. It's not called hefsek for the Birkas HaTorah. Vehu adin l'sheina umerchatz ubeisakise de lo have a hefsek. Guy goes to the bathroom and comes back. It's not a problem. He does not need to make another bracha. Now, halacha l'maisa, there's a discussion in the poskim about this seif. Does the Shulchan Aruch mean that he has to actively think it, or that's what it stameh means? So the Mishnah Berurah says, halacha l'maisa, even if you go to business and you didn't have in mind to go back, and then you have an extra minute and you're like, I'll hop around and learn another minute, you don't need to say Birkas HaTorah because it's a suffix. It goes into the Mishnah Berurah, but there's still something, very, very powerful.
Regarding the Sachar or also...
What?
Regarding the Sachar or only the Bracha?
Well, what do you mean Sachar?
You'd say you had in mind that you're still going to come back to learn. You still...
HaKadosh Baruch Hu metzaref machshava l'maisa, but Hashem knows your real thoughts. Don't try to trick him, yeah? All right. So there's, I think, here a very, very... again, I'm just saying it again. I know I said it, but a powerful, powerful message for us that, and this is halacha l'maisa. This line is halacha l'maisa. Is we never meyash da'atenu from learning. Learning is something essential by us, and Baruch Hashem, I think this week many of us were able to feel it or see many other people that feel it. Yehi ratzon, just we should be able to stick this a little more into us. Have this emotion, have this das, this seichel, have how we are connected to Torah a little more and grow a little more through what we experience and through what we learned tonight. See how it is. Thank you, everybody. All right.
Yeah. Maybe it's because like a Jew, the reason why he goes to work and whatever is for Torah.